Oh man, so ALGORAND have just launched a $300 million fund, and this is massive. Let's explain what is going on. So ALGORAND Foundation announces $300 million fund to grow DeFi innovation, and this is massive. So let's take a look at this. So the founder says the ALGORAND Foundation is excited to launch this funding program to help accelerate the adoption of DeFi across the ALGORAND ecosystem. Okay, so he says creating the right infrastructure, application ecosystem, and liquidity will be key to ensuring that DeFi on ALGORAND is regarded as the world's most energy efficient, scalable, and low-cost DeFi ecosystem. So we know that is their focus, right? So they want to be energy efficient, scalable, and low cost. Now we know Algorand have at the moment about a 4-second close on the block time. So this is their kind of comparative advantage. This is their strength, is that they can close the blocks quickly. They got a fast finality rate. But where Algorand is lacking is its adoption, right? And they've identified that, and it's really exciting to see that they've put this $300 million DeFi fund into place. And let me explain. So you've got projects like Ethereum, the easily the market leader in terms of a layer 1 solution, showing you what the roadmap is. In order to be a valuable layer 1 solution, you need a vast variety of dApps built onto your blockchain, right? You need people using those platforms because that's what will drive the end adoption of your ETH, right? Your Ethereum blockchain. If there was no OpenSea, if there was, no NFTs in gaming or any of these things, DeFi, no Uniswap, nobody will be using the Ethereum blockchain. And that's the key here. And at the moment, those platforms don't in abundance appear on Algorand. Now we know on Algorand you've got IDEX, you've got Hummingbot, you've got Yieldly, you've got Opulus, Securities, and comment below if you want to see a video going into some of those specific Algorand projects. But what we do need to build out is the ecosystem which we saw on Ethereum. Now you look at the likes of Link, you look at the likes of Dot. We need to create those kind of platforms for the Algorand network. So that's what this fund is targeted at. They said they're launching a few super grants, which will be about $5 million each for a few super grants applications for people who are going to build oracles and bridges. Okay, so they need to build some really good bridges which can let you on ramp onto Algorand and back onto the Ethereum bridge, right, on the ERC20 token. Now, as well as that, they need to build their oracles. Now, an oracle, for those that aren't familiar, are things like Link, which is what Chainlink does, which is bring in price feeds. Now, this is really important for any smart contracts and adoption. I mean, very, very layman terms. I mean, if you think about you're building a smart contract, and in that smart contract, it'll say, I will give you, the person watching this, $1,000 if the price of Ethereum goes to $4,000. Now, how will you feed that price of $4,000 Ethereum, the live price every moment in? That's done through something called an oracle. And now oracle doesn't have to just be price information. It can be any information, right? It could be the weather. It can be any other data points which you want to bring into your smart contract, real estate prices, copper prices, commodity prices, anything. So these are really important foundational pieces of work that needs to be done for Algorand. And if they can get these done, and we can start to see the likes of, Chainlink type projects, Dot type projects, bridges, oracles on the Algorand network, that is going to be really powerful for Algorand to take that next step towards Ethereum's current market cap. We know we were a little bit off. We've had good growth in Algorand over this period of time. They've got a clear comparative advantage. They've been around for a long time. They've got a solid management team, but it's exciting to see that they've identified the area which will give them the best bang for their buck. And this is definitely an exciting piece of work that will be coming on, because just like the example I use of the iOS store, right? You need to attract developers. What is the Apple store if nobody's building apps, right? If Candy Crush and Angry Birds and all these platforms weren't building any apps on these platforms, it can be a robust platform, it can be super fast iOS store, but what's the point? Right? It doesn't do anything. So that is why you need to attract the developers. And this is going to be an arms race to get the developers across. We know Phantom, Harmony One, those are other great level 1 platforms which are fast rising and trying to be, trying to get there in the tier with Ethereum. All of these lot are in an arms race to attract the best dApps, and those which have the best environment, the best incentives, the best technology, the easiest programming language, and various other things will attract those dApps. But ultimately, you need the big community, you need the users, because think about it, if you're a dApp provider, you want people to use your application. So not only do you want it to be easy to build and have all these different things, but you want to build on a platform which has traction, which has people there, which has a community. And I think that's where you look at Ada, you look at Solana, you look at Algorand, and Phantom and Harmony One are kind of getting there. They have that adoption, they have that community behind them, that if you did build a dApp on there, you can see some early seeds of traction. So really exciting news. Good to see the fund is in place, and it'll be important to see where do these platforms go here. And ultimately, you're going to measure this through the total value locked, because we can see Ethereum's head and shoulders above any of these platforms. I mean, we invest in these other platforms because we know Ethereum can't be the be all end all. It can't be the only layer one solution. It's not enough, even at Ethereum 2.0. But it still is well above. I mean, people are actively using amazing projects. People love the projects on Ethereum, right? They're not just using Ethereum for Ethereum's sake, right? At the moment, people are backing ADA for ADA's sake, and they're backing Algorand or Solana for the project's sake and for the technology and the blockchain, and they believe in its stats. But when the projects develop and you start buying an iPhone because you want Clubhouse on it, or you want Snapchat on it, or you want these platforms, that's when it's powerful. And at the moment, you're seeing that with Ethereum. People want to use OpenSea. They want to use Bored Ape Yacht Club. They want to buy those NFTs. They want to use CryptoPunks. They want to use Uniswap for their decentralized purchases. So that's where these things will start to really push the value of these blockchains forward once they've got real tangible dApps with good use cases. And we're not saying Algorand doesn't. Like I mentioned, it's got IDEX, it's got Hummingbird, it's got Yieldly, and various other platforms, but we just want to see that grow. And I think the founders here, Silvio Micali, who founded it, and the team of scientists, they know what they're doing, and they know this is the next step. And that's why this Viridis program with $300 million is a good start to attract some really good dApp builders, developers, and see where we can take it from here. So thanks for watching, guys. If you want more updates on Algorand, please do subscribe, comment below on what you'd like to see, and I will see you in the next one.